Well, that's a wrap. Just finished pinto beans. Couldn't ask for nicer conditions. I've lost track of my time, or my days, Dane. What day is it?
I don't even know myself. I thought it was Thursday.
Oh, yeah, it's Wednesday today. Isn't it? I think it's Wednesday. We are over by Strathcona today, just south of Greenbush. Yeah, well, we're about 30-35 miles away from the farm today. Came over here to help Dane. Dane's gonna put in his bean crop on his, or put beans in on a piece of ground that he picked up last year. It was CRP. Sprayed it out last fall, and then he burnt it off. And then he spread fertilizer on it, and then last fall. And then now we're finally getting to it. The air seeder's not busy, and could have been out here a couple days ago, but graduation and all that. So then he came back yesterday, and it's starting to green up a little bit here, as you can see, which is fine. And he sprayed it with Roundup and cleaned everything up. Now we're gonna go and knife some beans in. Looking for beans here. There he is, right there. Yeah, just about it, right at an inch. It's harder to find seed with no-till. Now look at this, guys. Moisture right here. No problem with that, I guess. Well, we're gonna get this dialed in, and then we'll show you when we get going here. All right, well, we're gonna go check our seeding depth again after we shallow it up a little bit. Is he in the moisture?
Okay. I like that way better.
Yeah. Right at an inch. I'm no no-till expert at all, but from what I can tell, you want to go as shallow as you can because you got moisture, but you don't want beans on top. So as long as they're getting into moisture, with this sod, it's not going to dry out as fast. I mean, you could have seed slot dry out, but you're talking rain again here in a couple days, so I think we'll be just fine. I'd rather have a little shallower and push through the sod than be too deep. So we're gonna up that seeding rate to about 180,000. I think we're at like 166 or 170 right now. Well, this is just pretty hairy right here, but they're in there. They're in there. We'll see if anything grows. It's just a little strip here that he didn't get burned. Well, today we're putting on boom extensions. So we're gonna make the 120 into 132. The reason we're doing that is because our planter is 66 feet wide, and at a 132 we can line right up with the tram lines that the tractor and the planter use, and they're just a little bit wider, and it works so much nicer. You don't run nothing over. Anyway, and then we already got a compaction line there anyway from the planter and the tractor running there, so we just as well use it. On the bonus side, I guess, just less passes. We need to do something with the tank. It's only a 1,000-gallon tank. It'd be nice to get it up over get it 1200 or better. I don't recall the name of the company. I think it's a Canadian company. I'm pretty sure of it. I do not recall the name of these extensions. But anyway, they do a really nice job. I did a lot of reading on it, and they were top notch. So it looks like we just bolt it right through it then, huh? It just sleeves over the top. It's like a sleeve. Here it is. I'll be darned. Well, that's snickered and snot. That won't take that long. So yeah, you just slide over and there's your bolts. Bolt are on. Right here, right where all the bolts are. Bolt holes. I found the box with all kinds of stuff in it. The boom extensions are made up in Canada at Dave's Machine Shop. And you get a little how-to, put it together type stuff, you know. And then you get some different brackets. All right, well, we're gonna try to figure it out.
Damn, boy, that loud.
So you had to put this piece in?
Yep.
And that's supposed to what?
Make it stronger.
Probably make it a little stronger, huh? We'll check back on them. We're gonna drill this hole, and then we're gonna put a bolt in there, and then we'll put our thing up there. Is it lining up with the hole? Yeah, you gotta hang on to it. I'll put a little extra on it. What do we need? The hose clamps? Yeah. Okay. That's our stopper for the end of our tip now. So after Dane got the one side figured out, and then Evan and I were putting them on, and then we had to run to town quick and get some more tips because we didn't have enough tips. Forgot about that. Anyway, he said it probably took him an hour, so not too bad. Now we have a 132 is what she is. See how many trees I can hit with that. Hopefully I get used to it right away, or it's not gonna be good. I just had to tighten up. There's a relief valve for the boom fold, and it's actually really easy to get to. It's right here, the bigger one. Loosen that up, quarter turn in, and that was it. So see if we can get this thing folded before it rains. If you can tell, the smoke is really bad. Like, that's a quarter of a mile to the end of the woods there. If I was a Canadian, I'd be pretty upset. I gotta pay carbon tax, and then you got wildfires that put more carbon in the air. Then it's just crazy.
Channel 1.
We gotta go in the machine and let it know that the booms are bigger, and not just on auto steer, but we have to do it as far as for section control, so the machine knows that, hey, that section now is wider. So anyway, we go in here to the VT, right in here, sprayer setup, boom setup. We gotta go down here and change row 5. It says number of nozzles, we got 4 more. Nozzle spacing 20, but now we got to go up to left 5, add 10 there at 20 inches, so 133.3. All right, that should be it.
Well, here we are, Thursday, June 5th, top dressing spring wheat. This here wheat is probably a couple weeks old since it was seeded. We've got the co-op helping us out. We want to get this all, they're way over there. different field on the other side of the road there. We want to get it on here before the rain. We're maybe going to get rain this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, hopefully. We've got agrotane on it, so it has protection. So if we don't get rain, we don't lose it. At least protection for a while. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of what we usually do with our spring wheat. Top dress about 2 to 3 weeks after it's seeded on an average. Late May, early June. I've been doing that for probably 8-10 years, something like that. Awful dusty out here, as you can see. We definitely need a rain. Got that pretty blue agrotane on that nitrogen. Almost even smells good. But anyway, when I get reloading here in a minute, I'll show you how pretty that nitrogen looks. And I'll probably take a closer look at the wheat when I'm out waiting for to get loaded. Well, we'll take a look here. We'll pick him. There. Now we're done. Oh, there's one. But yeah. This is a headland, but the rest of it looks like that. But you can see where we drive. They don't look real pretty, but it comes back. You see over there where it was drier, it looked like I had a cultivator behind.
Yeah, I know.
Holy smokes! And well, I mean, it just I could see my look like I'd cultivated. There was nothing.
Yeah.
So if we don't get a rain, that stuff's dead, I think. But even look at here. And here, well, we're going crossways here to the seeding. But it looks worse than up here now. See?
Yeah, that'll straighten out.
We're out here looking at the crops, and I suppose are we spilling over? She's running over. Well, we'll have to run back. But yeah, this looks better here. You can see. But they'll come back up in a couple days. We've got that Canadian smoke again. I think it just come a little bit past the border today. We got that luxury, but we're used to it. Smells like we're camping.
Yeah, there you go. That
smells like a campfire.
Minus the marshmallow.
Well, there's your update on the spring wheat. Some of the last stuff we put in anyway. I'll show you what this pretty blue urea looks like here that we're loading. There she is, pretty blue urea. Normally, obviously, our nitrogen is white, but with that agrotane, it protects it from the sun. Otherwise, you lose a lot of it in a matter of a couple days. And the way our rain's been, we don't know if it's going to rain or not. We don't want to lose it, so that's why it's that pretty blue. I'm just about done with this one, and I got to go down that driveway or the rest of this grass trail. There's an 80 down there. See you later. Loaded and away we go. I like to write down what meter's showing on this field or how many acres it is, and then that way I know how many acres each tank does, and then that way I look at that last number and I add that to it, and I know about when I'll run out. It helps me kind of know where I'm going to be, I guess. Try to be more efficient, you know. Okie dokie, I'm going to give a lesson for you young operators, whether you're operating something like this or a tillage tool, or, well, more so something like this, basically. See, there's a little jog in that field right there. You can see him going up and back there. Well, I don't want to end up in there and I'd have to drive all the way back. This is where the truck is. When I get to that headland, which is up here, take that from an old timer. Maybe everybody does that, I don't know. When you get older, you don't have a lot of time left. You gotta save it. I'm trying to save as much time as I can.
A few minutes later.
Little old dairy farm over there back in the day, and that cute little silo and the barn. Out here on the edge of out in the Tulies. Actually, they're probably closest neighbor is right over here. That's Isabel over here. That was in the last video. You have to watch it. I think that's her sister, Gladys. Hang on there. Grabbing that line. Look at that. Woo-wee! You know what? I'm so busy excited about my last round working out perfect, and talking about Gladys over here, Isabel's sister, I forgot to turn on my booms. Right there. Nothing. Good thing we didn't go the whole way. Now we didn't get to drive over it a little bit more and pack her down. Okay. Turned her on now. Now we're good. Later. Bye.
Get it going and then pull the trigger and go again.
Yep, go whenever.
Have a little thin
Yeah, but it'll work.
Dane's doing some coaching. Listens better to him than me. They're making spacers for our fenders on these trucks. Ivan's tearing apart the third one here. We already put fenders on one of them. They're getting the hardware out on that one and ready to put new hardware in, which looks like this. But what we need spacers for, or what we kind of come up with, is we had one or two options. Option one is we get a piece of flat iron here, drill 2 holes, put these bolts through it, and then weld this stud. There's a bolt that comes through here right now. Weld this steel piece to that, so it'd be right here. Or we use what we have right now, since it's already bolted right to the frame, and we put a 1.5 inch spacer right here. So I guess we opted to do the spacer by a vote. Anyway, we're putting in spacers, so hopefully that works. If it doesn't, I guess we'll go to plan B, or which would have been plan A, and just weld it to the flat iron there. It's nice not having the flat iron there, so otherwise stuff gets behind it. And so this is a solid piece of steel, and then here's a piece of pipe that goes over the top, and then it's a clamp, and then you got U-bolts that go here and here. So this is kind of what they'll look like when they put on. So Dad had this thing in town the other day, and we ordered the window for it, so that'll be coming any day. But I'm gonna go in the office right now and order the new airlines. These plastic things up here, they never work. So at least they work in the summer, but they don't work in the winter up here. These are probably original pigtails, so we probably just as well replace them too, just so we don't have problems this winter. Set them up just like we did with the Pete's. Nice rubber hose, plenty long, so that way we have enough to work with. So
Much later.
all right, just come back from town, Dane and I. We're burning after hours now. We decided that we're gonna relocate this pipe. It's gonna go right here instead of over here. Keeps that fender lower, otherwise it's too high. Just what we gotta do. So Dane, master fabricator, is going to put together a little plate. We're gonna get the fenders put on. Drilled our holes in there. 3/4 inch holes. Add a bolt to the frame, and now he's welding the pipe to the... That's the right spot, right? I just guessed.
It's just wherever it fit.
We're working some after hours time right now, but we went to Earl's in Roseau and had something to eat for supper, so that was good stuff. I was getting a little thin.
The knife.
It should fit. Now we're in a better spot. Then we put this pipe, slides right over top of it, and then we'll be in a much better location for the fender. We'll show you when we get her done.
Meanwhile,
Would you and Ma go to Grand Forks to pick some chemical up or what?
Yeah. We got a big load on.
What happened to your seat?
Drove like this all the way.
The backrest broke, huh?
My back's broke, yeah. What the hell? You got parts for it though.
2 hours later.
We got these on, and then we slide the pipes on and set everything in place. Take our measurements, and then we get them clamped on here. And then once we get them clamped on, then we got to cut the studs off quick. Like our new toy?
Right there.
Nice.
Now we can cut them off. We'll never make it.
Hold on now. It's going. Oh, we got it on. That's what they look like. Well, that's a wrap. Just finished pinto beans, and couldn't ask for nicer conditions. I'm gonna fold up, park this thing in the shed, and I'm taking the family and we're heading out of here for a few days. I want to get out of here before spraying starts, or I will not leave, and neither will the family. Kylie and I are going to take the boys and we're going to go to the Black Hills and check out Medora. It's probably been 9 years since we've been there. So yeah, we're gonna go do that. So I'm gonna fold it up, take it back to the shed, and I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Down to 3% on the battery. 3%. Not 3, 3%. Not much juice left. Steve-O used the whole battery today. Should be some good stuff on there. Oh yeah, he did say Elizabeth over there, she flashed him earlier today. So maybe there's some extra good video.
And then when we're gonna start, we're gonna get blah, blah, blah.
Should we start taking bets on how long we're gonna live when we all this smoke and paint and chemical and you know we put near drink all the chemical to put on our hands and we eat sandwiches with it. And we just will dip our bread in the shit and live forever. We'll be pickled and can't die.
Yeah, we'll be so full of something it won't be like
They won't have to embalm us.
we'll stay just like we are.
Just without a heartbeat.
Yeah, just dead, but it'll look the same.
You guys wrecked it, didn't you? That's why they're late.
Yeah. I told her.
Yeah, there ain't enough room. You lucky the gauges are still in there.
Oh my god.
I told her they'd figured out.
Gross.
P for passenger. Well, what usually is in the passenger seat?
Well, that is true. I didn't think of that.
The dog.
Yeah.
And the dog, he's in the